Hello everyone. So today I prepared the slideshow and we're going to talk about the pros and cons of asexual and sexual reproduction. So sexual reproduction is the method of two living organisms, which you and I are considered organisms, or Homo sapiens in technical science-like terms, in combining their genetic information or DNA genes to make a new offspring, which would be your parents creating you. Now, asexual reproduction is the type of reproduction that's for single cell organisms without needing gametes or another organism's genetic information or genes. So that would mean, right here, I put two pictures right here. Because a frog actually, surprisingly, is asexual, because I'll explain that in a second. And so in asexual, right here we have, this occurs in mostly plants, bacteria, and fungi. It's a less complex reproduction. There's no fertilization. Only mitosis reproduction events happen in the cell division. It doesn't need another organism to reproduce. It occurs in multicellular organisms such as human, animals, and some fungi and plants. It's a more complex reproduction. So the two male and female gametes formed from chromosomes, the internal or external, they require the fertilization of about 6 to 9 months to be fertilized. Meiosis and mitosis reproduction events happen in the cell division, and you need two organisms for your mom and dad to produce the offspring. Now let's talk about the types of sexual reproduction. So we have allogamy, I think I'm pronouncing it right, is cross-fertilization, which cross-fertilization is when, I'm going to give an example of a flower taking all, the gametes that were from right there, and I'm just using the flower as an example, and then transferring it to another protist or plant and fertilizing it over there. Now we have internal fertilization. So it's the fusion, or you put together the male and female gametes that were created from the chromosomes, and you turn it into a zygote to put it into the embryo. Now we have autogamy. So this one is a little bit tricky. So it's self-fertilizing, meaning it doesn't need any of the gametes or those chromosomes. They in order to self-fertilize, they need to put, they don't need another partner to do it. So, and right here we have external fertilization, means it happens outside of the body. So internal means it happens inside the body, and external fertilization, sperm it's sent out of the body, and it'll try to fertilize female eggs externally. Now the types of asexual reproduction: binary fission, fragmentation, regeneration, and budding. These are all types of asexual reproductions. And here we have, this is actually what I was talking about earlier, what happens, the egg and the sperm. This actually is a form of meiosis. This happens in meiosis. The fertilized zygote coming from the egg and the sperm. So humans have 46, I'm right here, 46 chromosomes. Oh, hang on, sorry, can't really see that. Let's see. 46 chromosomes from your mom and dad. So this is the dad, and that's the mom. You get each side has 23, and it creates 46. And this fertilized egg goes into the embryo, And, this is the result right here, this whole family right here. Or whatever, sorry. And then this is a diagram of the asexual reproduction right here. So the DNA is being replicated, and this is mitosis 1 and mitosis 2. This is the diploid cells. So diploid cells are basically there are two versions, two sets of chromosomes in an organism cell. So there's two of those chromosomes. Now, the advantages to sexual reproduction: you have a genetic diversity, meaning there's, the genes can be diverse. You have a higher level of resistance to diseases, meaning we have a higher chance than asexual organisms. And survival of the fittest, which is Charles Darwin believed. Charles Darwin, he proposed that evolution works on the theory of basically survival of the fittest, meaning that individuals like us or animals, they're more likely to survive if they fit in, with their genetics, or that they grow likely if they're familiar with the environment. Oops, sorry, you go back. So we have a higher immunity than asexual, and the growth of our brain cells are encouraged. So we don't have to be like replicas of our parents. Like we don't look exactly like our parents, as in they do in asexual reproduction. Like frogs, they look exactly like each other. So now, the disadvantages to sexual reproduction. Of course, infertility isn't really something, that's a big disadvantage. So your partner could, male or female, can be infertile and not, be able to produce kids. And the time and energy to find the partner, of course. As humans, and actually animals, surprisingly, they have to find the right partner that they're compatible with. There's a longer reproduction process. For us humans, it takes about up to 9, sometimes. A human can be, frankly, a woman can be pregnant for up to 40 weeks. So, yeah, it's longer than asexual reproduction. And, of course, different genetics can be, I guess, an issue. Like, two parents, like, you have different races, or, you won't have an exact look as, you won't look exactly like your child. If that's the case, then it's very rare, so it's not something, it's not common. And, of course, less offspring. Issues with pregnancy, meaning like, you have a higher, like maybe like a 50-50 chance of losing the child, or it can be up to like it can be risky with pregnancy, of course, depending on your health issues. So, of course, yeah, right here we have birth defects. If you like birth defects or health issues or mental issues, you can get from your parent, or it can come from someone in your family. Now, the advantages to asexual reproduction. So, I have to say this asexual reproduction is a lot more simpler, and you'll see why. You only need one parent, so you don't need like a father. You only just need the mother to do it, to be like give birth. There's less requirements. You'd be a clone. Let's say frogs would be a clone of their parents, so they'll just look exactly the same. It is more boring, but it's more simpler. There's multiple ways of reproduction. So, such as we talked about earlier, binary fission, budding, I didn't put this down there, but fragmentation, spore formation, regeneration, and vegetative propagation. So some of those ways. One colony can produce multiple offspring. So say a plant stays in one area, it won't move. It won't go anywhere. Just it'll just start producing many other plants around it. Reproducing many other plants around it and just spread. So the plant organisms eliminate seeds during asexual reproduction, and it only takes 6 weeks for reproduction. So yeah, that's a lot less than 40 weeks. Now, the disadvantages. There are some disadvantages. Of course, there's more. There'll be negative mutations, no diversity. So, yeah, when they produce clones, there's no diversity. They all look the same. They're more susceptible to diseases because of different insecticides or pests that go around. There's predators, which are the insecticides or the things that can eat it. The plants are the fungi, of course. A larger population, so they can reproduce a ton of them. Like, there can be a whole field just from one plant can just spread out. So there'll be, I don't see that as a big disadvantage, but it can be because right here they have right here we have this competition for resources, so they all need to compete to getting all this other food from each other. And a simple change in the environment can eliminate the colony. So that big open field, if the environment changes, they all die if they can't handle it or get in trouble for that. They have a shorter lifespan. They're a higher expense, and what I mean by that is some people can grow plants, but they can pay a lot more for just growing them or getting the resources to keep them alive. So it can cost quite a bit. They have a limited ability to adapt. Like some of them, they can adapt to some of the environment changes, as you can see. I put right here a simple change right here. Oh, hang on. A simple change in the environment can eliminate the colony. So that kind of falls into the umbrella of the higher expense and the limited ability to adapt. And these are the references or resources I used for this slideshow. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that can give you a better idea of the advantages and disadvantages and the types of sexual and asexual reproduction. Thank you so much.